The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and then there were three. My man Jason Lloyd is in the building.
Oh, the real J-Lo.
Yeah, right. I don't think our backsides look the same though.
Yeah, hey, you fool somebody. Hey, you can come to the studio and meet J-Lo. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster. Man. They pull up. They're like, who's this? Who's this? Hey, what this dude? Where's J-Lo at, man?
You don't want to see me in some of them dresses. I can promise you that.
McNuggets, Cavs. We got the Cavs situation tonight, man. They're playing the Orlando Magic. Now, the last time they played the Magic and Desmond Bain gave them that work. They lost a really close game. The Magic shot the ball well, but the Magic have lost, I believe, 5 in a row now.
Yeah.
Lost 5 in a row. This is a potential matchup. I think there are only 2 games out of the 5th seed. Right now, currently, the Cavs are in the 4th seed. So if they were able to move up, it would give you a rematch of a couple years ago where, the Magic took them to Game 7. And actually in that game, the Magic were up by double digits, I think, at halftime in that game. And it took a miraculous Donovan Mitchell heroics and to get them back into that game. But, I'll start with you, Jason. In terms of what you're looking at for this game, do you look at it as a matchup potentially? And do you think there's any importance of winning this game and getting it together so they know what it is when it comes to playoffs?
Here's what I always say. If it's April 17th or whatever day game 1 is, are you going to be talking about March 24th? Probably not. Probably not. But it's still an important game only because Magic, like you said, they lost 5 in a row. Cavs are still trying to put everything together. And really, when you talk about Cavs versus Magic, what I look at is Paolo Banchero and how do the Cavs attack him and how do they guard him? Really, he's averaged 30 points against them this season. He's killed them. He killed them in that playoff series. He's a tough guard. He's one of those dudes that he's sort of like Jose Ramirez for us, for Cleveland, who he's like a star that nobody talks about and nobody watches and nobody knows anything about him. Well, that's Paolo in Orlando. He's that dude. And they've had a ton of injuries. They still got a ton of injuries. They're missing guys tonight again. That's just a team that's been hurt for years, it seems. They can't ever get everybody together, and when they do, they're really good. But they've got guys out again tonight. So for me, it's how do the Cavs guard Banchero and what type of night does he have against them?
I think it's about playing a sustained basketball game for 4 quarters for a lot of the reasons that Jason just mentioned. Now, you're going against an Orlando team that has lost 5 straight games, and they coming into your house. And for whatever reason, when they play the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's like, man, they hit at a whole nother level. Their confidence go through the roof. They really believe that they can whoop on us at any given moment. And like he said, Banchero ain't afraid of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for whatever reason, he really loves playing at Rocket Arena. Some of those performances that I've seen from him and those matchups over the years, a lot of the big ones, they then came on the road, courtesy of our home court. And so, you watch the Cleveland Cavaliers, granted, they did finish that road trip 3-0, but there were times to where, I won't say they kind of like lost focus. I won't put that type of bad paper out on them, but, Jason, as they say, some teams like to play with their food a little bit. And I just felt like at moments over the last stretch of games, the Cleveland Cavaliers have had moments to where they're playing with their food, to where they're not as locked in and to getting the job done. You shouldn't find yourself down by double digits to a team like the New Orleans Pelicans and have to have like a heroic fourth quarter to get the job done. You shouldn't let teams like Chicago, erase a 29-point deficit and find themselves in that ball game late. And so for me, knowing that you're going against a team that is trying to get back on track, you're going against a team that they believe they have your number, you want to come out here, hit the ground running, and just play sustained basketball for 4 quarters. Don't find yourself in a situation where, you're getting down by 20 points. And if you're up by 20 points, don't find yourself in a situation where you're blowing the lead. Play solid, sound basketball for 4 quarters, and you should be able to come away victorious.
I should also add, this is their second night of a back-to-back for Orlando. I think it's 3rd and 4 nights. So they're in the grind of the schedule right now. This is kind of the games are coming fast and furious for them right now, which is part of the reason they've lost 5 in a row.
I look at it like this. I need the Cavs to start locking in and really starting to develop the playoff mentality and the playoff habits. For Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, we understand what they are able to do. Those guys are Hall of Fame caliber players. you understand that they get what they need to do, even though James Harden has traditionally struggled in the playoffs. But for the others, if I'm Harden and I'm Mitchell, I want to start ramping it up and getting guys focused on, hey, this is what we need to do to continue to move forward in the playoffs, because a lot of those guys, Jalen Tyson, Sam Merrill, he's played. Actually, it's crazy. Sam Merrill, don't he got a championship
with the Bucks?
With the Bucks, I think.
Does he have a ring?
Is Sam Merrill to have a championship?
I feel like he was on that Bucks team that won the championship.
According to Pro Basketball Reference, Sam Merrill is an NBA champion.
Ah, what a pull! Sam Merrill.
Championship pedigree.
He got that pedigree.
He's got two. He's got the Summer League championship, which is more important than the NBA championship.
Well, he played a bigger role on the Summer League.
Yeah, he did. So you got him, you got Max Strus, but what I want to get to is I want the others to start understanding where they are. And getting into a rhythm and knowing where they need to be at on the floor, understanding where Donovan is going to get his shots, understanding where James Harden might give him the ball and deliver the ball in a pick and roll. So these are the games that you look around. You got Miami coming up two games after this. You're going to play Orlando. To me, I'm more into process. Yeah, the wins and losses are cool, but what I want to see is the comfortability and seeing how these rotations are going to play back and what Kenny's going to do in terms of handling the roster in the playoffs.
When you look at this matchup in particular, and I go back to the playoff series between these two that went 7 games, Orlando is not scared of Cleveland whatsoever. Orlando, in that particular series, tried to make things as physical as humanly possible. Remember, Jared Allen ended up breaking his rib in that series. They wore down the Cavs, who weren't able to get past Boston in the next round. Tonight, no Isaac, no Wagner, no Anthony Black, no Jalen Suggs for the Orlando Magic. To me, that screams guys. They are going to try and muck this game up, make it as ugly as possible. As Jason pointed out, it's their 3rd game in 4 nights. They're going to have tired legs. If they're going to win this game, it's going to be like a 97-95 kind of game. It could get ugly, and these are the kind of games that I get a little scared about from a Cavaliers perspective in the long term, because he could take one Goga Batadze elbow to the ribs to knock Donovan out. I'm not even saying the dirty play. Just when you get these bench guys who don't play a lot because other guys are sitting, they're going to play with 155% frenetic energy, and that can sometimes lead to some freak accidents and collisions throughout the game. So I know it's a terrible mindset to be a little scared of random injuries in a game like this, but a team lacking severe firepower due to the injuries and the 3 games in 4 nights and just this stretch of the season against the Cavs team that is desperately trying to get healthy, I got a little bit of worry about that.
That's why, to Earl's point, you got to get them off the books. If you up 29, we gonna put y'all away, because playing with these teams like that, what'll happen is you'll let them back in the game, and all of a sudden in the 4th quarter in the NBA, if it's a close game, you already know what type of time it is. Yep. Guys are gonna play hard. So if you got a chance to finish them all, go ahead and do it.
I think it was Houston and Chicago played last night, and I think Chicago was on the 2nd leg of a back-to-back. And they they was blowing Houston out the water. They ended up winning the game. They held off and won the game by 3. But the reason why I bring that up is I hear the whole tired legs and, 2nd night of a back-to-back. The Cavs better show up ready to play, because honestly, I don't think none of that is going to matter for the Orlando Magic. Like, I didn't hear Wendell Carter on that list. I ain't hear Paolo on that list. I ain't hear Desmond Bain on that list. So they going to have some dogs that's still available to them. And as Jason pointed out, I think they are one of the most underrated coached basketball teams in the NBA. They have a really, really good head coach. And, even through the injuries, they find a way to go out there and play hard. But when you're a team that's jockeying for playoff position and you done already lost 5 in a row, and the team show up on your schedule that you are overly confident in playing, then all of a sudden those tired legs don't feel so tired no more, especially when you are really trying to get a dub. The Cavs got to come out focused. The Cavs got to come out ready to handle their business. As you talked about the rotations, I mean, it's hard to talk about rotations when we keep having these injuries and we can't really get the nucleus of this team playing together. Well, we got 11 games left in the regular season.
Gosh, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's about it. So, we got to try to get those rotations
flying,
figured out as quick as we possibly can. But right now, for the night, you better come out ready to play, because I don't care what that FanDuel spread say. the 10-point favorites, the 22, 29 and a half. Orlando don't care about that either. They going to come out here with their best foot forward, and they going to try to put their foot on your neck.
This game is on Peacock, by the way. NBC or
WKYC.
And WKYC, if you're in Cleveland, you don't even need the Peacock app.
Man, the best theme song of all.
That is really good.
Time.
I'm glad they brought it back.
I'm glad they brought it back too.
I'm Bob Costas. I'm Doug Collins.
You mentioned the Magic coach, Jamal Mosley, former Cavs assistant.
Yeah.
He and JB Bickerstaff are very, very good friends, and they both coach the same style of just tough, physical. The Magic are long and athletic. They're losing some of that tonight, but when they're whole and healthy, they're long and athletic, which is the type of team that gives the Cavs problems. And they coach a very physical brand of basketball. And we saw that firsthand in the playoff series a couple of years ago. Mike alluded to it when Jared got hurt, and they don't back down from anybody, regardless who's on the floor. So it'll be a fight tonight.
Speaking of